Chimugukuru, that was such a foreign word to me prior to my involvement with the HUOA. These last few years have now taught me that we often use this word to refer to the heart, the soul, the spirit of our special community, which has for decades embraced the collective efforts of both Uchimanchu and Uchinanchu at heart. In 2021, during the height of the COVID pandemic, I became fascinated with the word when Patrick Miyashiro introduced the theme Chimugukuru Tichi, or All Hearts Unite as One. It became the rally cry for our organization that year. It reminded us all to lean in, to do our part, to open our hearts, and to lead with compassion, and to selflessly put the needs of our neighbor above our own. It encouraged us to embrace the challenges of that year together and never apart. That was my first experience with Chimugukuru. And as I became more immersed in the culture, I now know that this word is not just a word. It is a value that is passed on from generation to generation. And throughout the centuries, it has manifested itself, especially in times of hardship. The Hawaii plantation life and communities where our Issei started their lives were full of challenges. However, being adaptable and pooling their resources made it much more tolerable. Sharing whatever they could, both tangible and intangible, to bring normalcy to their lives brought them closer together. What we know today as the Pigs from the Sea story, or HUOA's origin story, is perhaps one of the best examples of Chimugukuru. Touted as one of the world's greatest humanitarian efforts led by Uchinanchu of Hawaii, approximately 30,000 donors pulled together, both Uchinanchu and Uchinanchu at heart, to pull together $50,000 to purchase 550 pigs from the US mainland in 1948. These pigs became a symbol of hope for the Okinawan survival as they dealt with the destruction of their homes and villages and slowly rebuilt their communities and lives in the aftermath of World War II. But it wasn't just pigs that were donated. 750 milking goats, clothing, books, medical supplies, school supplies, all together that led to 151 tons of relief that were supplied to our relatives, family, and friends in Okinawa. Even the University of Ryukyus was born because of this effort. And while 50,000 might not sound like a lot today, back then it would have been the equivalent of more than $500,000. And while the sheer scope of the relief effort and its resounding success is quite noteworthy, what I found most remarkable was that the Okinawans in Hawaii gave not from a place of abundance, but from a place of scarcity. They gave whatever they could give, whether it was 50 cents, $1, or $2. They gave at a time when it was perhaps the hardest or most difficult time to give. And hearing these stories of families doing whatever they could to pull together the $50 to contribute a pig to Okinawa was overwhelming. And it brings me back to Pat's theme, Chimugukuru Tichi, which asked all hearts to unite as one across the seas and to put the needs of your neighbor above your own. We see this so often in our community. People saying, I might not have it so good, but it could be worse. And it's that overwhelming sense of compassion, or Chimugukuru, for those that were suffering in Okinawa that took hold of the people in Hawaii, which then led to this massive homegrown relief effort for our family and friends in Okinawa. Through this shared struggle and shared commitment to overcome all obstacles, our community has a history of coming together over and over again, and out of compassion or Chimugukuru for each other and a shared sense of purpose. To me, Chimugukuru is a spirit, and you'll feel it at every single one of our events. It is a unity of souls and an overwhelming sense of compassion that binds and lives eternally within our culture to be passed on from generation to generation. And I just want to close, the relief effort that started here in Hawaii that went to Okinawa has been reciprocated 10 times over from Okinawa to Hawaii. We saw that with the Maui wildfire relief effort. Last year, the HUOA had the privilege to donate more than $672,000 to the Maui Strong Fund. And the majority of that contribution came from Okinawa. It came from the government, from the prefecture, from the small businesses, from the corporations, from citizens of Okinawa who donated to their prefectures, just specifically for this cause. So it's with that Chimugukuru that we have for Okinawa and Okinawa for Hawaii that we proudly pass on the baton and implement that within our generations to come. Ipe ni pe pe veru.